deal with engine and automotive inspection. You've got everything from Bemis and Modine to Harley-Davidson and many other great companies. ACS itself, excited not only about hosting this forum, but growing, more than doubling their number of employees over the last couple of years. I think a good reflection of the positive business environment and the growth in their industry. And we wanted to be here to talk with them and with the other participants in this forum about things we're doing, both in general, but particularly in the state budget, that we think will further enhance that kind of growth and improve the business climate here in the state of Wisconsin.
Joshua Inglett, why did you decide to withdraw his nomination?
We've got plenty of other good candidates, and we're not going to get into specifics about it. We've made a decision in our office to withdraw the nomination, and we'll be submitting another student to be one of the regents.
Do you check all of your potential appointees against the recall database?
I don't do anything in that regard, but in terms of that, like I said, my comment's just going to be that we withdrew the nomination, and there's plenty of other good candidates we've looked at and we'll look at in this case.
This is a big deal for him. You know, he was excited to be on the board. Can you give any reason as to why?
Again, we're not going to pull him through all that. There's plenty of good candidates out there to go forward in that regard. I think the other two regent appointees we made were widely applauded for what they bring to the table, and there'll be plenty of good candidates. Those regents stay on for a longer term period. For the student appointee, it's a shorter term period. And again, we had a number of interested applicants, and we'll tap one of them.
So it wasn't because he signed the petition?
Again, as I said before, I'm not going to comment one way or the other.
How would you respond to Democrats who say that it's political retribution?
Well, then they're being political, because if you look at all of our nominees for various boards and appointments, you'll find there's a broad spectrum from Republican to Democrat to independents. And there are people that we've appointed, there are people that we've reappointed to some commissions that Governor Doyle appointed in the past. So they would be ignoring the reality of what the situation has been, and that is we've appointed people from all different political and ideological persuasions in the past.
Inglett said that the offer was rescinded yesterday after your office called and asked if you had signed the petition. Is that inaccurate?
Again, I wasn't involved in that directly. I just say that in the interest of not pulling him through the details on this, we withdrew the nomination, and we'll be submitting another name.
Can you tell us who recommended him as a nominee?
Oh, I think there are a number of students that applied along the way. I'd have to look. I'm assuming he was one of them as well, but I don't recall as to whether he applied or someone recommended him. But there are a number of people that seek that position out. In the past, we made the initial appointment 2 years ago. Those appointments, as I mentioned, come up every 2 years, I believe. And so we just filled that position, and we'll go back and look at, there's a number of other interested candidates.
You keep saying you don't want to drag him through, you know, talking about this reason, but, you know, he is saying that he hasn't done anything wrong.
We're not saying there's anything, all I'm saying...
It's indicating that he did something wrong.
No, I didn't indicate anything. You're putting words in my mouth. I said we're withdrawing the nomination, and we'll be submitting another name from the wide list of students that we have. That's all I've said.
There's been some talk that there were some threats at your home along with another senator's home. Can you comment on that?
I don't comment about specific threats just because there are many and often from a security standpoint, but we've had them in the past. Those are things that unfortunately are ongoing. We treat them all seriously, but as is witnessed to me being here today and keeping a heavy schedule, being out in the public, I don't let it stop me from doing my job or seeing people across the state, but we do take them seriously.
Your family safe at home?
Yeah, I think so. They made some additional adjustments. I spend, as some people know, probably more time in Wauwatosa overnight than I do at the governor's residence, mainly because my youngest son, through this week, will be a graduate at Wauwatosa High School. But it's in his interest to keep him in his high school and not move him in the last couple of years. I've stayed there. But they've continue to make adjustments as we refine the safety and security issues along the way. We feel perfectly fine.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
I don't know if this